Even though we feel pain in our back, even traveling up into our neck, doesn't mean that it's caused in those areas. It's caused from somewhere else pulling on the back and pulling on the neck. And I want to introduce this idea of our posterior chain and our posterior fascia line. Now, what even is this? Our posterior chain is primarily made up of the muscles in the back parts of our legs, traveling up through alongside the spine and even into the head and the neck. But I really want to emphasize the posterior fascia line because this is bringing in that idea of fascia and how well we are connected. Our posterior fascia line starts with our plantar fascia, which is the bottom of the foot. And it travels up through the calf, the back of the hamstring, through the pelvis, the back part of the pelvis, alongside your spine into your erectors, all the way up into the neck and even into the head. So when we actually appreciate this idea that we are actually connected head to toe by fascia, we can now realize that muscles aren't just working independently of one another. They're actually working dependent on one another because we now recognize that our fascia connects us head to toe, and we can clearly see this in the posterior chain and the posterior fascia lines. So what is causing our posterior chain and the posterior fascia line to become tight or problematic in the first place? Well, really, it's as simple as we have too much weight forwards. When we are forwards all the time, our body has to respond and react with a counter force. So it is trying to grip onto the backside of our body to prevent us from falling on our face. And generally, when we are too far forwards, then our pelvis can tip into an anterior pelvic tilt, our rib cage can flare, or it can depress in certain circumstances, but essentially too much weight is forward, so we have to train ourselves to come back. But before we even get there, we need to realize that where is the fascia that's the furthest away from our engine, our heart and our diaphragm? Well, it's our calves and our feet. Now, if our calves and our feet are part of this posterior fascia chain, this posterior fascia line, then this is an area that we have found has been so impactful with myself, with our community, that we need to release that, where you will feel releases all the way up the chain into the back and even into the neck. And again, this is really dependent person to person, how much you do. We all are unique, but our fascia is very intelligent. It is trying to protect us. So we're also not just falling forwards. There's always going to be some sort of asymmetrical twist going on, and it can grip and anchor us down. So every step we're taking, if our calves and our feet are off, it's causing this chain reaction all the way up the body into the back, the neck, and the head. What I want to show you is how to decompress the feet, how to decompress the calves to create that release, because all of this fascia is so sticky, it's so dense, it can even become dry. It's not fluid how it should be. So we want to restore that, and we need specific tools to do this. We need to add compression. We need to tell ourselves that it is okay to release our fascia because it is very strong. It is dense. So just doing some stretches or massages generally won't do the trick. So this is why I'll be showing you how to do this with our block from Block Therapy. If you don't have one, you can even use a rolled up towel. It's more of a beginner approach. It won't get as deep, but you'll get a sense of what we're doing. When we allow the pressure while connecting to our breath to come into more of a sympathetic, relaxed state, we are giving ourselves permission to release and let go of these patterns so that we can feel this release all the way up the chain. And then I'm going to be showing you an exercise to help bring our body weight back. And that is so important because that's addressing the absolute root cause. So that is an exercise. So just need your body weight, and we're going to be connecting the feet, the pelvis, the thorax, so that it's a full body approach. So let's get started with our first position. Grab your block from Block Therapy or a rolled up towel, and let's position this on the bottom of the foot. I'm having the block on its side and approximately right in the middle of the foot. And of course, Over time, you can explore this entire area. But now we're gonna be working on one leg at a time. So nice and slow, bring that foot directly on top of the block, and you don't have to bring all of your body weight on at once. Approach this nice and slow and make sure that you are connecting to your breath. Your belly and your rib cage should be expanding as you inhale, and then make that nice and small as you exhale. You're in control of the pain, of the sensation that we are experiencing, and giving ourselves permission for this tissue to relax and let go. Once you settled in and you found your balance, spend just isometrically here for about a minute or so before exploring into new areas. But once you're ready to, you can slowly surge towards the inside or the outside portion of the foot. Now it's very important, the slower you move, the deeper and more effective of a release that we will get. Spend time on one side of the foot for about a minute or so, and then very slow, explore into the other side of the foot and spend some time there. You can also integrate very slow twists on the block. Our tissue likes to grip and hook in more of a rotational way. So if we can mimic the way it grips, then that will be more of an effective release. At any time where this feels too intense, ease off, reconnect at a less intensity. Remember, your breath is your guide. Once you spent about 3 to even 5 minutes in this position, nice and slow, take your time and let's exhale up and out of this position. Our next position is working into the calf. So let's stay on that same leg, and there's two different ways of approaching this. First, you can be more in this upright seated position where we will be sandwiching the block between the calf and the hamstring, or you can do this where your butt is on the floor and you're resting your calf directly on the block. Now we can of course work this entire length, but for the purpose of this video, we'll just stick in one position for now. So find which position works best for you, and then let's start to settle in. Let's connect to that breath. There's a lot of pain here, and there's a reason why. It's because the tissue and the muscles are so dense. So approach this at your own pace. Once you start settling in for about a minute or so, then you can very slowly start to search either to the left or to the right. But remember, we're not moving fast, and we want to stay on one side for at least a minute or so. Once you've explored this entire area, spending a minimum of 3 to 5 minutes, then you can exhale up and off. Now it's important that you repeat this on the other leg. And you might find that, wow, my right foot and my right calf stored a lot more pain than my left, or vice versa. That's normal. If we have too much weight on one side because we're lateralized to one side, generally there can be more tension and more pain. So just take that into account and into consideration that that is normal, and generally the side that stores more pain is the side that you want to spend more time on. Next, we're going to be moving into this exercise. This is more of a corrective exercise. This is going to help bring our weight more back, and all you will need is a wall just to lean up against. So take about a step away from the wall, and I want you to bring your hips into about 60 degrees of hip flexion, similar to what I'm doing here. We want to make sure that the knees are in alignment with the toes and the hips are in alignment with the knees and the toes. And now what we want to do is slowly start pushing with our heels. I want you to bring awareness to your inner heel and the ball of the big toe, but 60-70% of your body weight should be on your heels, and push into the floor so it's pushing you back into the wall. Now we want to tilt that pelvis backwards just slightly so we're into more of a neutral to even a posterior pelvic alignment. And once we're here, let's lock that in place. And next, this is very important. We want to be able to bring our rib cage down, because if it's flared open like this can be pushing us too far forwards in space. So let's exhale completely. Keep exhaling. When you get to the end range of the exhalation, feel your side abs, your oblique muscles are starting to engage, and let's lock that in place even when you're inhaling. And this is going to keep your rib cage and your diaphragm stacked over top of your pelvis and your pelvic floor. This is that concept of stacking. Now I want you to feel that your lower glutes are starting to activate, because many of the times when we have issues in the posterior chain that our glutes aren't active enough. So feel them turning on. Check in with your feet, your knees, your hips, your pelvis, and your rib cage are all in this correct alignment. And now I want you to gently reach with your arms. I like to bend my arms like this because I can feel that this is pulling my scapula a little bit further away from the spine, and this is going to help bring our rib cage back. So think that you're bringing your rib cage back as your shoulder blades are coming forwards, but don't reach so much. Just a gentle reach so that we can stay in this position and keep the neck relaxed. Then when you inhale, I want you to feel more of the back part of your rib cage is expanding. So all of this combined is bringing our weight back. We're neutralizing the pelvis. We're bringing the rib cage back. We're breathing through the diaphragm, and we're expanding the posterior part of the rib cage, which gets very tight in this area so that we can now stack properly and bring our center line of gravity back. So stay here for about 8 to 10 full breaths. We want to make sure that we're performing this routine at least a few times a week. I would recommend even 3 to 4 times a week. If you want to do it every day, you absolutely can, because the tissue is so dense down here. And the more we can retrain our body to come back, then the more we're going to prevent ourselves from this posterior chain from really getting active and causing us tension and pain. So for the routine to follow, you're going to spend 3 to 5 minutes on each foot, then 3 to 5 minutes in each calf, and then you're going to do that corrective exercise up against the wall, and you're going to perform 2 to 3 sets of about 8 to 10 breaths minimum in that position. So if you enjoyed this video, you're noticing a change, and you really like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe. If you really like the concept of block therapy and fascia decompression, or you tried the towel but you want something a little bit more dense like this to get deeper and create more of an effective release, check out blocktherapy.com. I'll have the link directly below in the description to bring you straight to our starter program, which is something you're really going to benefit from. We'll see you in the next video.